Nothing tastes quite as good as vegetables picked straight from your own garden. And the delicious vegetables from a Suttons Grafted plant will wow you, your friends and your family and leave you eager to get into the kitchen. Suttons Grafted plants can give you up to 75% more fruit than ordinary plants. And because a heavy cropping variety has been joined or grafted to a vigorous rootstock, the plant fruits earlier and for longer. And it's also more resistant to soil-borne pests and diseases. But remember, these supercharged plants will take some special care. When you arrive home from the garden centre, check the compost is moist. If not, leave the plant to soak for 5 to 10 minutes, then put it in a light and airy place like a windowsill or conservatory for a few days. If your plant arrives by mail order, you'll first need to pot it up using a good quality multi-purpose compost. As it grows, you'll need to repot this plant to give the roots more space. When you come to do that, you must make sure that the bumpy bit here, which is where the graft took place, is above the soil level. Otherwise, the top plant will root itself and you'll lose the benefits of your supercharged root. Once your plant is around 40 centimetres high, or in the case of tomatoes, showing their first yellow flowers, you can transfer it to its final growing place, a greenhouse, a nice sunny position on the patio, or directly into the garden. Just make sure that any danger of frost has passed. From May, tomato plants grow side shoots. These grow up between the V of the main stem and the leaf branches, and they don't bear any fruit, so you need to remove them. You need to pinch them with your finger and thumb at a right angle to the stem, pull them out, and that way the plant can concentrate its energy on growing tomatoes. Now with cucumbers, the fruit actually grows on the side shoot. So what you need to do is you remove the first cucumber that appears, and then the side shoot will come out, and then you cut that side shoot after the first leaf has appeared, and that'll leave you with a beautiful crop of cucumbers. Each of the leaves on your plant works like a solar panel, trapping the sun's energy and creating lots of sugary loveliness for your fruit. If a leaf is in the shade, it will produce less sugar, and if it gets damp, it will be more susceptible to disease. Use secateurs to trim off low-hanging or overcrowded leaves. Peppers, aubergines and cucumbers need less trimming than tomatoes. Just remove leaves to allow light to reach developing fruit. Once your tomato plants have developed a good crop, they need to be given the chance to mature into large, juicy fruits. To do this, stop the plant growing any taller by removing the growing tip from the top of the plant. With grafted plants, you can expect to see 6 to 8 trusses of tomatoes per plant, or 5 to 6 trusses per stem on doubles or duos. With cucumbers, follow the same procedure. Cucumbers and tomatoes can get really heavy as they're growing, so you're going to need to give them some support. To do this, you can use a cane, or if you've got somewhere high, then secure some string and wrap it around the stem. And that's also the best way of growing cucumbers. Now, peppers and aubergines obviously also need support as they're growing. 4 stout canes around the plant with string between them to support the growing fruit. Suttons Grafted plants by their nature are more vigorous than standard plants, so will require more feeding. Use a fertiliser that contains high potash levels about twice a week when the plants are fruiting. You need to water your plants regularly. In the evening, after the sun has gone down, I use a 2-gallon watering can full of water for each plant, and this gives me lovely, ripe, juicy tomatoes right through the season. When your tomatoes are a lovely even orangey red, or in the Orangino's case a beautiful golden orange, then they're ready to pick. Now keep the green stems on to keep them fresh for longer, and you break them off just at the swollen point just above the leaves. Now when you're storing your tomatoes, they'll last for a long time. If you keep them at room temperature, they'll have a really lovely flavour. With chilies, the redder they are, the hotter they are. And with sweet peppers, again, the redder that they become, the sweeter they taste. Now when you're ready to cut them, use secateurs and cut them just above the green stem. Delicious. Aubergines are ready when they are a lovely deep purple and the size you would see in the shops. Cut the green stem a couple of centimetres above the fruit. For the best flavour, aubergines should be stored at room temperature until you're ready to add them to a lamb casserole or a moussaka. You can harvest your cucumbers when they're about 15 centimetres long. Cut them from the plant as you need them. There are many varieties of Suttons grafted plants, each carefully developed to produce more fruit for a longer period. But these supercharged plants do need looking after. Follow the steps in this video to give your plants the very best care and you a bumper crop.